start a fire on a plane?
Pop was not dictated by drugs. He just wasn't.
He died too young. There's just no doubt about that.
He lived 3 lives in that one short life that he had.
Grim, you know, because the way he died kind of cast a pall over his entire life, and I just really want his spirit and his humor and all that to be remembered.
The mystery surrounding Ricky Nelson finally got cracked open, and the truth shakes people even now. Ricky, born Eric Hilliard Nelson on May 8, 1940 in Teaneck, New Jersey, came into the world already wrapped in showbiz vibes thanks to his famous parents, Ozzie and Harriet Nelson. From day one, he was surrounded by lights, cameras, and endless attention from fans who watched his family on the hit radio and TV series, The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. This show became a classic across America, with folks tuning in every week like they were part of the Nelson household. Growing up right on screen, Ricky had that natural charm and smooth confidence that made people stop and stare. His good looks and talent pushed him straight into the spotlight, and audiences couldn't get enough of him. But what really flipped the script was how he stepped out of the family sitcom kid label and hustled his way into a real music career at a time when rock and roll had older folks clutching their pearls. Ricky didn't just join rock and roll, he became one of its most respected voices. In 1957, he dropped his first single, I'm Walkin', a cover of Fats Domino's hit, and the track rocketed up the charts like it had something to prove. That moment didn't just launch a second career for him, it crowned him a full-blown teen idol with fans screaming his name everywhere he went. Through the late 50s and into the 60s, Ricky kept rolling out hit after hit like he couldn't miss. Songs such as Hello Mary Lou, Travelin' Man, Poor Little Fool, Lonesome Town, and It's Late showed off that smooth voice that felt like velvet through speakers. His clean-cut style and easygoing presence pulled rock music closer to mainstream crowds, giving him a loyal fan base that held on tight. Ricky Nelson became one of the first teen stars to hit national TV on a regular basis, blasting rock music straight into living rooms across America like it was a new wave shaking up the country. This move set the stage for what future legends like the Beatles would do on a massive scale. By the time Ricky hit 21, he had already moved millions of records and locked in his spot as one of the top-selling male solo artists of his whole era. But even with all that success, Ricky's climb wasn't smooth forever. When music trends shifted in the mid-1960s, he struggled to keep that chart-topping shine. Instead of chasing whatever sound was hot at the moment, he switched lanes on his own terms and leaned into a more mature country rock vibe that showed real artistic growth. This bold jump led to the creation of the Stone Canyon Band, a group that helped shape the early country rock scene, a style later embraced by big-name artists like the Eagles. Then, in 1972, Ricky dropped the reflective single Garden Party, and it hit like a shockwave. The track was born from a rough night at Madison Square Garden, where the crowd only wanted his old hits, ignoring the new music he worked hard on. That moment lit a spark in him, and the song became a powerful comeback anthem about staying true to yourself no matter who tries to lock you into the past. The message hit hard. You can't please everyone, so you've got to please yourself. On top of his music achievements, Ricky built a strong lane in film and television too, proving he was more than just a singer. His on-screen journey kicked off back in 1952 with a light-hearted family comedy that showed just how naturally he could slide from music to acting with style and confidence. The film Here Come the Nelsons hit the scene with perfect timing, using the family's rising fame to pull audiences in with excitement. Just a year later, Ricky stepped into a small but striking role in The Story of Three Loves, 1953, an MGM production directed by the legendary Vincente Minnelli. In that film, Ricky played the young version of Farley Granger's character, and he showed early on that he had a real gift for bringing characters to life on the big screen with natural style. As Ricky's fame exploded through both his music and the adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, Hollywood started paying serious attention to him. Then came a huge turning point in 1959 when legendary director Howard Hawks cast him as a gunslinger in the classic Western Rio Bravo. Ricky held his own right next to giants like John Wayne and Dean Martin, adding a fresh spark to the movie that fans still talk about. Hawks even credited Ricky's cool, magnetic energy as a major reason the film crushed it at the box office. Ricky didn't slow down. He kept leveling up and working with some of the biggest names in the game. In 1960, he co-starred with the charismatic Jack Lemmon in The Wackiest Ship in the Army, a comedy that hit so hard it eventually inspired a whole TV series. Even though Ricky didn't return for the show, his film performance left its mark. Always hungry to try new roles, Ricky popped up in different projects to show off his range. He guest starred on General Electric Theater, where his episode The Wish Book proved he could switch gears from music to acting without missing a beat. Then in 1965, he took the lead in the romantic comedy Love and Kisses, a special family project written and directed by his father, Ozzie Nelson. The movie let Ricky shine with a mix of charm and confidence that fans couldn't ignore. The film also brought in Jack Kelly, giving Ricky the perfect setup to mix his acting skills with his smooth charm and musical vibe, turning the project into something warm, lively, and full of heart. As the late 1960s and 70s rolled in, Ricky's guest appearances on TV became a steady part of his grind, and he kept showing viewers he could switch styles anytime he wanted. He stepped into the boots of the well-known outlaw Jesse James in an episode of Hondo, bringing edge and attitude to the role with serious confidence. Then he popped up in the nostalgic western The Over-the-Hill Gang, 1969, teaming with respected veterans Walter Brennan and Pat O'Brien, giving the film a cool mix of old-school grit and fresh presence. Ricky kept the momentum going, showing up in hit series like McCloud, The Streets of San Francisco, Owen Marshall, Counselor at Law, Petrocelli, and A Twist in the Tale, proving he could fit into any storyline with ease. One of his standout guest roles came on the Hardy Boys' Nancy Drew Mysteries, where Ricky played Tony Eagle with real swagger. The episode didn't just put his acting on display, it also let him perform some of his classic songs, giving fans the best of both worlds and reminding everyone how strong his musical roots truly were. Ricky's talent also lit up the iconic show The Love Boat, adding another memorable credit to his long list of TV appearances. When the 1980s rolled around, he kept moving, picking up supporting roles in TV movies like 3 on a Date and the teen comedy High School USA, 1983. His charisma stayed strong, and producers knew he still brought that spark that kept audiences watching. Whether he was on the big screen or the small one, Ricky Nelson's acting career showed just how wide his range ran, turning his already impressive artistic legacy into something even more bold, versatile, and unforgettable. During his teenage years, Ricky Nelson rose into one of America's most adored young stars, winning over millions with his clean-cut look, smooth voice, and easy charm that felt effortless on camera. With that level of fame came non-stop attention from fans and the media, and of course plenty of people developed crushes on him because he had that natural shine that drew folks in. Like most teens figuring out life, Ricky was curious about dating and meeting new people, and he spent time seeing different girls his age during those early years. But even with his growing independence, his mother, Harriet Nelson, still played a major role in his personal world. Not only was she his mom, she was also his co-star on The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, which meant she saw firsthand how fame shaped his everyday actions. Harriet had strong ideas about keeping things classy and maintaining a respectful public image, especially under Hollywood's bright spotlight. She wasn't shy about expressing her worries, and she often felt that some of the girls Ricky spent time with didn't match the type of influence she wanted around him. Her concerns weren't about judging people, but about making sure he stayed steady and grounded. She also understood the business side of showbiz better than most, and she believed Ricky needed to stay locked in on his long-term career in both music and acting instead of getting caught up in short-term dating drama. Her protectiveness came from both a mother's instinct and a veteran performer's understanding of how fast fame could spin somebody in the wrong direction. Ricky respected his mom, but he definitely felt the struggle between what he wanted personally and what was expected of him professionally. That push and pull showed up again and again through his teen years and early adulthood, shaping a lot of his decisions. Eventually, though, he met someone who seemed to fit what he was looking for, and who also managed to earn Harriet's approval. Chris Harmon stepped into Ricky Nelson's life in a way that felt straight out of a Hollywood headline, and the two tied the knot in April 1963 in a wedding that had the whole country talking. Their marriage brought together two well-known American families, creating a buzz that felt larger than life. Chris was the daughter of Heisman Trophy winner Tom Harmon and 1940s film actress Elise Knox, and the Harmons had been close with the Nelsons for years, so people saw this match as smooth and natural, almost like destiny bringing two Hollywood legacies together. Both families were already rooted deep in entertainment and public life, and their marriage felt like a continuation of that tradition, almost like passing the torch to a new generation. Ricky and Chris went on to have 4 children, each carving out their own lane in the arts. Their firstborn, Tracy Christine Nelson, followed in her father's footsteps and became an actress, building her own career in TV and film with standout roles including her work on Father Dowling Mysteries. Later, Chris gave birth to twin sons, Gunnar Eric Nelson and Matthew Gray Nelson, who picked up their father's musical fire and carried it forward with style. In the early 1990s, the twins hit major success with their rock band, Nelson, becoming the first family act to deliver 3 generations of hitmakers. Their track, Can't Live Without Your Love and Affection, shot to the top of the Billboard charts in 1990, proving the Nelson legacy was still strong. The couple's youngest child, Sam Hilliard Nelson, arrived later, named in honor of Ricky's father, Ozzie Nelson, whose middle name was Hilliard. Sam grew into the arts as well, even though he stayed more private compared to his siblings and didn't chase the spotlight the same way. But despite the picture-perfect image the public saw, Ricky and Chris were dealing with growing issues behind the scenes, showing that even a family with fame, talent, and legacy can face serious struggles. As the years rolled on, the pressure between Ricky and Chris started stacking up fast, especially after their youngest child was born, and the distance between them kept getting wider. Their lifestyles were changing, their personal goals were shifting, and emotionally they were drifting apart in ways neither of them could ignore anymore. Ricky was out on the road a lot, pushing hard to revive his music career and keep his momentum strong, while Chris was dealing with the day-to-day weight of raising a family under constant public attention, which came with its own heavy stress.
You know, nobody's ever going to tell me that it wasn't a love story. It just went really, really, really wrong.
Whispers started spreading about infidelity and emotional disconnects, adding even more tension to a marriage that once looked picture-perfect to the world. What seemed like a glamorous partnership between two well-known families was slowly breaking down behind closed doors, pulled apart by personal struggles and different priorities that just didn't match anymore. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, things hit a breaking point. The relationship kept deteriorating, and soon the couple found themselves caught in a long, difficult legal battle touching everything: custody, finances, and the pressure of maintaining public image in the middle of it all. Their divorce was finalized in December 1982, ending a marriage that had lasted nearly 20 years. Even though the legal fight was exhausting for both of them, Ricky and Chris stayed committed to being good parents, working hard to keep life steady for their kids during all the chaos. Ricky took the breakup especially hard, and the emotional weight of it showed up in some of the more somber themes in his later music, adding a deeper level of honesty to his work. For decades, fans of Ricky Nelson, teen idol, rock and roll pioneer, and television star, have wondered what really happened during the final moments of his life. Even though some details came out early, major questions lingered and kept people guessing. Was the plane crash truly caused by mechanical failure? Or was there something else behind what happened during that tragic flight on December 31st, 1985? Over the years, the mystery surrounding Ricky Nelson's death has turned into a subject of deep fascination and heartbreaking curiosity, leaving fans searching for answers that still feel out of reach. Now, after years of digging, expert breakdowns, and fresh accounts from witnesses and insiders, the full story has finally snapped into focus. And what comes out of it is anything but comforting. At the center of everything sits the small DC-3 plane that Ricky and his band were flying on their way to a New Year's Eve show in Dallas, Texas. A flight that was supposed to be routine but turned into something unforgettable for all the wrong reasons. Early reports suggested a mechanical meltdown, maybe a heater acting up or an electrical short, that sparked a deadly fire on board, sending the plane crashing near DeKalb, Texas. Flames tore through the aircraft while it was still in the air, and although the two pilots incredibly survived, Ricky Nelson, his fiancée Helen Blair, and 5 band members tragically lost their lives in the blaze.
This has been a tribute to Rick Nelson, who was killed earlier today with his entire band.
Right after the crash, the rumors came thick and messy, people pointing to drug use, others tossing blame at poor maintenance, and some even whispering about sabotage or hidden foul play. With so many theories flying around, nothing felt solid, and the official reports weren't giving folks the clarity they hoped for. The National Transportation Safety Board eventually stated the fire started inside the cabin, most likely from a malfunctioning heater, but even they couldn't pinpoint the exact spark that set everything off. Meanwhile, tabloids and gossip circles took things in a darker direction, throwing out claims about freebasing cocaine based on rumors that certain items were found at the scene. Rumors that spread fast and painted a picture that many felt was unfair to Ricky's reputation.
It's a tabloid's wet dream. Innocent all-American Ricky Nelson freebases to death.
But toxicology tests told a completely different story. No alcohol, no drugs, nothing in his system that backed up those claims. No real evidence ever connected the cabin fire to drug use, yet the rumor stuck around for years, leaving a shadow that didn't match the facts. That cloud of doubt hung over the story for decades, becoming a painful weight on the Nelson family and a frustrating mystery for fans who just wanted answers. What finally cracked the case open were several investigative breakthroughs pushed forward by aviation historians, forensic experts, and journalists who refused to let the truth stay buried. Previously overlooked technical records, combined with new interviews with aviation mechanics and the surviving pilots, brought a clearer, more disturbing picture to the surface, one that finally explained what really went down. The aircraft, a World War II-era Douglas DC-3, was in rough shape, and new investigations made it clear the plane had been flying with safety issues that should never have been ignored. The heater system had a history of acting up, and multiple people had complained about it on earlier flights, but the operators still didn't fix it the right way, leaving danger sitting right under everyone's feet. Even worse, the heater had been patched together in a sloppy, makeshift way that didn't follow proper aviation standards at all, turning it into a straight-up time bomb waiting to blow. It sat just beneath the cabin floorboards, right next to materials that could catch fire fast. When the heater malfunctioned during the flight, it sparked a blaze that spread with frightening speed, filling the cabin with heavy smoke and toxic fumes before anyone had a real chance to react. There was no onboard fire extinguisher and no fire retardant insulation to slow the flames, leaving the passengers completely exposed. According to forensic reports, Ricky Nelson and the others most likely passed out from smoke inhalation before the crash landing even happened, unable to reach the exits or fight the fire that trapped them. The pilots were able to escape through the cockpit windows, but for everyone in the main cabin, the situation had already turned deadly. What hit investigators hardest was the fact that this tragedy could have been prevented if the people responsible for the aircraft had taken their job seriously. They knew the heater was unsafe, knew the repairs weren't up to code, and still allowed the plane to take off with passengers on board. Looking back, the flight wasn't just risky. It was a disaster waiting to happen, and the final question of how someone so well-known could die in such a preventable accident finally had an answer, though not one that brought any comfort. Instead of closure, the truth opened up waves of sadness and frustration. Ricky Nelson, a beloved entertainer who went from child star to respected musical icon, didn't lose his life to fate or personal mistakes. He was taken by human negligence and a system that failed to protect him. The facts, now fully uncovered, are tough to accept and paint a devastating picture of an avoidable tragedy that should never have happened. Ricky Nelson's legacy still stands strong, but the story of his death now carries a heavy warning. A reminder that even legendary figures can end up vulnerable when the people trusted with their safety don't step up. Some mysteries, once solved, don't heal anything. Instead, they make the heartbreak even deeper. When the truth about Ricky Nelson's final moments finally came together, it landed like a punch straight to the chest because it showed us something nobody wanted to face. This didn't have to happen. Ricky spent his whole life giving people music, memories, and moments that still hit strong today, and knowing he was taken by something preventable makes the story even heavier. But even with all the heartbreak, Ricky's spirit refuses to fade. His music still plays loud, his performances still shine, and his impact keeps reaching new generations who discover him like they're finding a hidden gem. Ricky wasn't just a star. He was a whole era wrapped into one voice, one smile, one legacy that still sparks emotion every time his name comes up. And that's why stories like his matter so much. They remind us how powerful these icons truly were, how much they gave, and how important it is to keep their real stories alive with respect and honesty. That's the whole reason we dig deep into these tales, to uncover what got lost, what was forgotten, and what still deserves the spotlight. If you want more stories like this, the real ones, the raw ones, the ones Hollywood tried to bury, make sure you tap in with Retro Cinephile, where the legends never fade and the truth always hits harder. This is where classic stars get their flowers, their justice, and their spotlight all over again. If you want the truth, Hollywood never wanted out there, the drama, the secrets, the cracks in the spotlight, you're in the right place. Smash like, hit subscribe, drop your thoughts below, and share this with someone who loves classic cinema, Retro Cinephile, where the past talks loud.